the board was aware of. There were several different options, and they're choosing the worst of all options.
3 historic motels on Drachman Street are set to be demolished after the Pima Community College board voted unanimously against restoring them. The motels are the Tucson Inn, Frontier Motel, and the Copper Cactus. Fixing them up would have cost nearly $36 million, according to PCC.
The decision comes after the board was presented several options on how to handle the properties.
13 News reporter Emily Miranda joining us live outside the Tucson Inn, an iconic motel. And Emily, why did the board decide to move forward with the demolition?
Well, Dan, for 2 reasons. First being the cost of renovation, but also the issue of safety on these properties. Now, while these buildings are set to be demolished, the governing board also says they're going to make an effort to preserve the neon signs. But some advocates say that's not enough. The Tucson Inn, Frontier Motel, and Copper Cactus were staples for Tucson back in the 40s and 50s. Carlos Lozano of Vanishing Tucson says these buildings hold history and need to be preserved.
These 3 hotels in particular are sort of like the crown jewels in the Miracle Mile Historic District.
But now the motels located in Tucson's Miracle Mile Historic District are set for demolition after a Pima Community College governing board vote.
Taxpayer money, student funds are for education. You should take those eyesores and knock them down.
The properties were purchased by PCC back in 2018 and 2019 for $5.4 million. The college planned to be part of the revitalization movement in the Miracle Mile Historic District, turning the buildings into things like an innovation center. But those plans were set in motion by a previous board. Last year, it was determined the cost of restoration would be over $35 million. The hefty price tag brought up the question of a cheaper option, demolition, sparking controversy and leading to the formation of an advisory board to explore options for development. Earlier this year, the board accepted a recommendation to find qualified private sector developers. They only received 1 proposal related to housing, but the money wasn't there to make it work.
We've given an honest effort as an institution over these many months to figure out, is there something we can do that wouldn't involve demolishing these properties.
The college says on top of the financial burden, the abandoned properties pose a significant safety risk due to ongoing break-ins, thefts, graffiti, illegal squatting, and a fire, saying in a statement, quote, "Removing these structures will address these hazards while enabling the college to consider future use for the site," end quote. The board says they will make every effort to preserve the neon signs, but advocates say the historic fabric is more than the signs.
We would not advocate for someone to keep a building that they had no use for, but these an alternative clearly exists.
The college says they remain committed to working closely with Thrive in the O5 and the community to develop the land. Now, this demolition is set to cost $2 million, and there's no timeline yet on when that is expected to happen. Now, for what comes after that, that will be left up to college administrators. Reporting in Tucson, Emily Miranda, 13 News.